I would say for students, first of all, to not fear. I mean, internships, you will get it. So not to be stressed. And I mean, it'll all work out at the end. Second of all, to have an open mind because I mean, life science students are very focused towards research, science, lab, PhD. I mean, that's a great career path, no doubts about it. But also keep an open mind to other career aspects which has science in it. For me, even though I'm from a science background, I have pivoted towards business, but still I am in the science.
Hello and welcome to PhD Talk Show. I am Virender Singh, and today we'll be talking about importance of internships in career decisions. Today we have with us Meghna Girish. She is working at Atal Incubation Centre, CCMB, Hyderabad. Welcome, Meghna. So please introduce yourself and so that we can start discussing about internships and how it helped you in your career decisions.
Okay, thank you, Virender, for giving this opportunity and having me. I'm really thrilled to talk about my experience and hope this helps, aspiring students in going ahead in their journey. To introduce myself, so I'm Meghna. And as you said, currently working at Atal Incubation Centre, CCMB. To give a little just about my academic background, I finished my master's in biochemistry, and post that I did a brief internship on science communication, and it was over a period of 6 months, and this kind of gave me a little more depth and clarity on what is that I wanted to pursue in my career wise, and which we can talk a little detail further. And post that, I went on to work at CCAMB, where I was managing different kind of programs related to antimicrobial resistance and business development programs. There, I worked for a year, and from there, I moved to Atal Incubation Centre, CCMB, where I am currently working, and I am managing a fellowship program that helps aspiring entrepreneurs on building their startups in biotechnology domain. So that's my introduction in short.
That's a great journey. So as I can see that you were associated with Incubation Center.
Yeah.
So do you think that internship experience helped you in getting in touch with startups or Incubation Center, or you were inspired to go in that domain?
So it was kind of a matter of chance that I came across Incubation Center, and also based on my interaction and experience, very few students, especially life science students, know what an incubation center or an incubator is, to be honest. And whenever we go for this outreach events, when I say I'm working at I'm an incubator, the first word that comes to their mind is the incubator that's in the lab, right? I mean, it's often confusing. The first thing that comes to a life science student's mind for an incubator is something where we keep our lab dishes and work in the lab. But incubator is a space. I mean, for people who do not know what an incubator is in the business sense, incubator is a hub. It's like a tiny space where you can explore your startup ideas. I mean, there are a lot of these PhD people who are working on their experiments, but rarely these research is being translated into the market. It's not going outside the lab, but people are interested, but they do not know how to do it, right? So that's how incubator is a space where you can work with your idea and convert it into a business. And when I did this internship, so I did my internship with Suchita Champak at SIDU. So especially during COVID times, it was really difficult to get an actual internship at lab. And Suchita was very happy to have me, and I'm really grateful towards her for giving me this internship opportunity. So that's where I mainly developed my communication skills. And the communication skills I developed during this internship is what was very crucial for me in exploring the incubation space, the business space, because when I was looking for the job there, what they were looking for was like great management skills, great communication skills. And so I would say this is how internship helped me in going towards understanding what are my skills and what are the different career options that I can look into. And that's how I transitioned towards a business space incubator and working with startups. And Cyrio itself was a startup in its own sense. I mean, it's still building. So yeah, that's how my journey started with startups, I would say.
Yeah, that's great. So as you mentioned, I think yeah, not many life science students actually explore different alternative options are available, and startups and incubation centers are, I think, the emerging job opportunities, at least in India. So students should consider doing internships at incubation centers or the startups which are incubated at those incubation centers. So, so my question is like, you were associated with CCamp and now you are at CCMB. So this must be a quite like different experience. So do you think there is option available for students to do internship at these incubation centers?
Yeah, I mean, incubation centers are always open to having interns at the incubation center. But again, it depends on which incubation center you are approaching. Now, at AIC, we are a smaller team, but CCamp is a very well-flourished, well-known incubation center. I mean, it's been a decade since it's established. AIC is still developing. We are 5 years, we just completed 5 years here. So incubation center would really be keen to having internships. And also we have a lot of startups, different domains. We have across different domains like agriculture, we will have genomics, we have health tech, medtech space. So they would startups, I mean, they also are very very new and limited in funding also, so they would really be open to having interns. I mean, it's a win-win situation for both of them. I mean, they get manpower, and also interns on the other hand will get good exposure. And I feel students should really approach these startups because they can get a direct insight into how in the initial phase a startup is like doing. I mean, it's the most crucial phase that makes or breaks a startup, in the first founding years of a startup. So you get to learn a lot in those years, I would say. So definitely you can approach I mean, couple of centers would put out posts like telling like we will be taking interns. But otherwise what works is you can just cold mail people. I mean, we have email addresses open. You can just write an email telling you would be interested in interning, and people are usually open to taking students as interns to work.
Yeah, thanks, Meghna, for a nice suggestion that students should network with people and send cold emails to explore internship options at incubation center or startups, so that like they could get real feeling that how a startup could emerge into a full-fledged like industry in future. So you mentioned that during COVID, you did remote internship rather than like internship, which we like generally think that we have to go to lab and do experiments. So it's a remote internship slightly different. So how was your experience, and what you suggest to students that whether they should be open to remote internship or internship at place, or like place of actual lab is more useful?
In my case, I would say I was kind of, uh, I wouldn't say, I mean, situation wasn't favorable for me to work at a lab. I mean, at any given time, I would prefer to do a proper internship at a lab or anything. But I would still say, I mean, you can still explore remote internship. My internship experience was great, and given the technology and how well, I mean, even this interview is happening over Zoom. I mean, information dissemination is happening online. So remote internships do work, and it is great. I mean, you only thing is we need to have a sense of accountability that has to be in individual sense, right? I mean, okay, I have to learn something out of this internship, and that is something a student has to bring to the table, the individual accountability and a curiosity and eagerness for learning, and any remote internship would be successful. And again, the organization would really be helpful in facilitating remote internships. So it is a great experience, I would say. I mean, a lab experience would be different, but remote internships are great as well. I mean, yeah.
Thanks for your insights. I think it will be very useful for students who could not reach out to companies at locations, say Bangalore or Hyderabad, because many students who wanted to do internships are like situated at remote locations. So remote internship is something which could be explored.
Yeah, and there was one person whom I know, and the person did a remote internship at IIT Bombay. Now, again, there are a lot of these dry labs, and you have access to data. So, if you want, in terms of my internship, was more science communication, but if I have to talk in sense of research, right? So, you can still do a dry lab based literature review and these kind of bioinformatic based internships, and they are pretty successful even remotely. Just wanted to add that. Yeah.
No, thanks for another suggestion. I think, yeah, so bioinformatics or data science is something which is upcoming, and students should explore, and they don't have to go anywhere. Like what they need is just like a laptop or a computer to explore like field of data science. So uh, at last, I'd like to ask you, what you'll suggest students who are either like graduating or finishing their PhDs, so how they should approach internships and how it could help in their like career decisions.
I would say for students, first of all, to not fear. I mean, internships, you will get it. So not to be stressed. And I mean, it'll all work out at the end. Second of all, to have an open mind, because I mean, life science students are very focused towards, okay, research, science, lab, PhD. I mean, that's a great career path, no doubts about it. But also keep an open mind to other career aspects which has science in it. For me, even though I'm from a science background, I have pivoted towards business, but still I am in the science. So there's science communication, there is intellectual property. So there is a plethora of opportunities out there. So when you are studying, so try out all the options that are available. Give it a try. You never know what works out for you, because I always thought that I wanted to do PhD, but it was during the internship that my perspective changed altogether, and I decided not to do a PhD. I mean, doing PhD is great, not doing is also equally great. I mean, again, you get to do a introspection on what are your key skills, where your actual interest lies. So internship is that opportunity where you get a truer understanding of yourself, and also kind of you have that free time. I mean, it's a time to kind of trial and error, and explore all the opportunities, and then decide on which direction to take your career. So I would say, yeah, that would be my little tidbit from my personal experience.
Thank you, Meghna. I think it's very uh, like it's good to know that you have explored different career paths after your internship, and I think all the students who are actually thinking of only like graduation, PhD, and then job, they should try explore different opportunities before even committing to PhD, which is a long-term investment. So there are opportunities, like Meghna mentioned, even before PhD, and one need not to have a PhD to get job. So thank you, Meghna, for your time. And I think all your insights which you shared with us will be quite useful for all the students.
Yes, thank you so much. And if anyone, whoever is listening or reading this, if you need any help, I would be always open to LinkedIn DMs and people can reach out to me and I can help in any way possible. So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.